Success is one of the most misunderstood things in the world. People chase it, beg for it, complain about not having it, envy those who do, and blame the world when it stays out of reach. But success was never meant to be hunted. It was designed to be attracted. Just like a magnet does not run after metal, it simply becomes magnetic, and when it does, the metal comes to it naturally. Jim Rohn used to say, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." That single idea changes everything. Because the moment you stop focusing on what you want and start focusing on who you are becoming, success begins to move toward you. Most people wake up every day asking, "How do I get more?" More money, more opportunities, more respect, more results. But the better question is, how do I become more disciplined, more valuable, more focused, more consistent? Because success is attracted to value. It always has been, it always will be. Think about it. Opportunities don't chase lazy people. Growth doesn't visit the undisciplined. Wealth doesn't knock on the door of someone who refuses to learn. Success responds to preparation. It responds to character. It responds to effort repeated long enough to become skill. Here is the hard truth most people don't want to hear. If success hasn't shown up yet, it's not because life is unfair. It's because there is still work to be done inside you. And that is not bad news. That is empowering news, because it means the control is back in your hands. Jim Rohn said, "You attract what you are, not what you want." Read that again. You attract what you are. If you are careless, you attract chaos. If you are disciplined, you attract progress. If you are negative, you attract problems. If you are focused, you attract solutions. Success starts with your philosophy. Not your bank account, not your background, not your connections, your philosophy, how you think about work, how you think about time, how you think about responsibility, how you think about growth. Two people can live in the same city, face the same economy, and have completely different lives because their philosophies are different. One says, "I'll do it when I feel like it." The other says, "I do it because it needs to be done." One waits for motivation. The other builds discipline. One blames circumstances. The other improves skills. Over time, success moves toward one and avoids the other. Success is attracted by small daily actions done consistently. Not once, not occasionally, but daily. Reading 10 pages a day. Improving one skill at a time, showing up even when no one is watching, keeping promises to yourself. These small disciplines feel insignificant in the moment, but over time they create a powerful force. Jim Rohn called it the law of sowing and reaping. You don't plant today and harvest tomorrow. You plant, you water, you protect, and then one day you look up and realize it worked. That's how success shows up. Quietly, gradually, then suddenly. Most people quit too early because they expect instant results. But success is attracted to patience combined with persistence. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be consistent. You don't need to impress everyone. You need to improve yourself. And here's something crucial: protect your mind. Because what you allow into your mind determines what you attract into your life. If you constantly feed your mind negativity, excuses, and distractions, don't be surprised when success keeps its distance. But if you feed your mind ideas, discipline, purpose, and belief, success starts moving closer. Jim Rohn warned us, stand guard at the door of your mind. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful who influences you. Be careful what you normalize, because your mind is the magnet. Success is also attracted to responsibility. The moment you stop blaming and start owning your results, your life begins to change. When you say, "This is on me," power returns to you. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for luck. You start building momentum, and momentum is attractive. Progress attracts opportunity. Confidence attracts support. Skill attracts income. Growth attracts recognition. But it all starts with the decision to work harder on yourself than on your job. So if you want to attract success like a magnet, don't chase it. Build yourself into someone success cannot ignore. Improve your philosophy. Sharpen your skills. Strengthen your discipline. Guard your mind. Be patient. Be consistent. Become valuable. Because one day, without chasing, without begging, without forcing, you'll look around and realize success didn't come by accident. It came because you became the kind of person it naturally followed. And that is how success is attracted, not pursued. Success is not something you run after, because the harder you chase it, the faster it seems to move away. Many people spend their entire lives exhausted, frustrated, and confused simply because they are pursuing the wrong strategy. They chase results instead of building character. They chase money instead of developing value. And they chase recognition instead of mastering their craft. But success was never designed to be hunted. It was designed to be attracted. Just like a magnet does not beg metal to come closer, it simply becomes magnetic, and everything that responds to that force moves toward it naturally. Jim Rohn taught a powerful truth when he said that success is something you attract by the person you become. That means success is not outside of you, it is a reflection of you. Your habits, your discipline, your attitude, your thinking, your work ethic, all of these quietly shape the results you experience. If success hasn't arrived yet, it's not punishment, and it's not bad luck. It's simply feedback. Feedback telling you that there is still growth required. Most people want a shortcut. They want the reward without the responsibility. They want the harvest without the planting, but nature doesn't work that way, and neither does success. You don't become successful by wishing harder. You become successful by becoming better, better at managing your time, better at controlling your emotions, better at learning from failure instead of being crushed by it, better at doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. When you focus on becoming, something incredible happens. Opportunities begin to show up that were always there, but you were not ready to see. People begin to trust you more, not because you asked them to, but because your consistency proved you deserved it. Confidence grows not from positive thinking alone, but from keeping promises to yourself again and again. Success starts recognizing you before you recognize it. Think about it deeply. If you want more income, you don't chase money, you develop skills. If you want more influence, you don't demand respect, you build character. If you want more opportunities, you don't complain about lack of chances, you prepare until opportunity has no choice but to notice you. The world rewards value, and value is created internally long before it is rewarded externally. Jim Rohn often warned people about focusing too much on the outcome and not enough on the process. The process is where transformation happens. The early mornings when no one is watching, the boring repetition of daily disciplines, the quiet struggle to stay consistent when results are slow, this is where most people quit, not because it's impossible, but because it's uncomfortable. But discomfort is the price of growth, and growth is the price of attraction. Becoming the kind of person who attracts success requires honesty, honest self-evaluation, Asking yourself hard questions like, am I disciplined? Am I improving? Am I learning? Am I taking responsibility? Because excuses may protect your ego, but they block your progress. Responsibility, on the other hand, unlocks power. The moment you say, "This is on me," you regain control of your future. Success is drawn to those who respect time. Every day is either invested or wasted. People who attract success understand that small actions matter. Reading a few pages daily, practicing a skill a little longer, making one better decision today than yesterday. These actions may feel insignificant in the moment, but compounded over time, they create unstoppable momentum. Success responds to momentum. You don't become magnetic overnight. A magnet is created through alignment. Your thoughts must align with your actions. Your actions must align with your goals. Your goals must align with your values. When alignment happens, resistance fades, confusion disappears, energy increases. And people can feel it. Opportunities sense it. Success recognizes it. The tragedy is not that success is hard to reach. The tragedy is that many people never realize they are the problem and the solution at the same time. They wait for the world to change instead of changing themselves. But the moment you shift your focus inward, everything outward begins to shift. When you work harder on yourself than anything else, you stop chasing success. You stop begging for approval. You stop relying on luck. You start attracting results because you have become someone capable of handling them, and success, like a loyal companion, follows those who are prepared to carry its weight. Daily disciplines are not exciting. They don't come with applause, instant rewards, or dramatic breakthroughs. Most of the time, they feel ordinary, repetitive, even boring. And that is exactly why they are so powerful. Extraordinary results are rarely created by extraordinary action. They are created by ordinary actions done consistently over a long period of time. This is one of the most overlooked truths about success. And Jim Rohn emphasized it again and again because he knew that the future is built quietly, one disciplined day at a time. People often search for motivation as if it is the secret ingredient to success. They wait to feel inspired before taking action. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes based on mood, environment, and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, does not depend on how you feel. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears, and when discipline becomes a habit, success starts paying attention. Jim Rohn said that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is a few simple errors in judgment repeated daily. This idea changes how you look at your life. It means your future is not being decided by one big moment, but by the small choices you make each day. Do you read or scroll? Do you practice or procrastinate? Do you plan your day or react to it? These small decisions seem harmless in isolation, but over time they shape your destiny. Daily disciplines build momentum. At first, the progress feels invisible. You show up, you work, you improve slightly, and nothing dramatic happens. No recognition, no instant reward. This is the danger zone where most people quit. They assume that because they don't see results, their efforts don't matter. But consistency is working behind the scenes, strengthening your skills, sharpening your mind, and building your character. Success loves consistency. It is attracted to people who can be trusted to do the work even when no one is watching. Anyone can perform when they are inspired. Few can perform when they are tired, bored, or discouraged. Those few become extraordinary not because they are more talented, but because they are more consistent. Daily disciplines also create self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. Not the loud, arrogant kind of confidence, but the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. This inner strength becomes visible to others. People sense it in how you speak, how you move, how you decide. Opportunities are drawn to people who demonstrate reliability. The beauty of daily disciplines is that they don't require massive effort. They require commitment, 10 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of focused work, one healthy decision, one difficult conversation handled with integrity, one extra step toward improvement. These actions are small enough to do, but powerful enough to compound. Over weeks and months, they begin to separate you from the crowd. Jim Rohn warned about the danger of neglect. Neglect doesn't look dangerous, it looks harmless, skipping one workout, postponing one task, avoiding one responsibility, but neglect compounds just like discipline does, only in the opposite direction. The gap between success and failure is often not talent, but consistency. Daily disciplines also train your mind to delay gratification. You learn to work without immediate reward. You learn to trust the process. You learn to believe in effort before evidence appears. This mental strength is what allows you to stay focused when results are slow, and slow results are part of every meaningful journey. Extraordinary results don't arrive suddenly. They reveal themselves gradually, then all at once. One day, people call it luck. They say you are an overnight success. They don't see the early mornings, the boring routines, the quiet sacrifices, but success sees them. And success responds to them. When daily disciplines become your lifestyle, your life starts to change in ways you didn't expect. Your standards rise, your excuses fade, your tolerance for mediocrity disappears. You stop asking for shortcuts because you trust the process, and the world begins to respond differently to you. Success doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. It doesn't care how strong your intentions are. It responds to what you do daily. When you commit to small disciplines and honor them every day, ordinary effort slowly transforms into extraordinary results. And one day, you look back and realize that the simple things you almost ignored were the very things that changed everything long before your bank account changes, long before your job title improves, and long before your circumstances look different. Something far more important has already been decided. Your philosophy, the way you interpret life, the way you explain events to yourself, the way you choose responsibility or blame, effort or excuses. Jim Rohn believed that personal philosophy is the foundation of every result a person experiences, and that your future is shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you think about what happens to you. Two people can face the same setback and walk away with completely different outcomes. One says, "This is unfair, this shouldn't have happened to me," and becomes bitter, resentful, and stuck. The other says, "What can this teach me?" and becomes stronger, wiser, and more prepared. The event is the same, the philosophy is different, and that difference determines the future. Your philosophy decides how you see work. Some see work as a burden, something to avoid, something to complain about. Others see it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to develop value. Success is drawn to the second mindset, not because life favors them, but because they extract value from every experience. They grow where others complain. Jim Rohn often said that we must take personal responsibility for our lives. This idea alone separates achievers from complainers. When you believe that your life is shaped by your choices, you become proactive. You stop waiting for permission. You stop blaming the economy, your upbringing, or other people. You realize that while you may not control everything, you always control your response, and your response is powerful. Your philosophy also determines how you handle time. Some people treat time casually, assuming there will always be more of it. Others treat time as precious, knowing that every day is an investment. The way you use your time reflects what you believe about life. Those who respect time tend to attract progress because progress requires focused effort applied consistently. Belief systems shape behavior. If you believe you are capable of growth, you try. If you believe effort matters, you persist. If you believe failure is feedback, you learn. But if you believe you are a victim, you hesitate. If you believe success is reserved for a lucky few, you stop pushing. Philosophy is not just abstract thinking. It shows up in your actions every day. Jim Rohn warned that if you don't design your philosophy, you will absorb one by default. You will inherit beliefs from society, from friends, from family, from fear. Many people live their entire lives based on borrowed thinking, never questioning whether those beliefs are serving them. But the moment you challenge your assumptions, your future begins to change. Your philosophy also determines your standards. What you tolerate, what you accept, what you allow to continue. If your standards are low, your results will reflect that. If your standards are high, your behavior will rise to meet them. Success responds to standards because standards demand consistency, discipline, and growth. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards alignment. When your philosophy aligns with effort, when your beliefs align with action, progress becomes inevitable. You don't need to force success. You need to think in a way that naturally produces it. One of the most powerful shifts a person can make is moving from blaming circumstances to improving skills. Circumstances change slowly. Skills change quickly. When you believe that learning can change your life, you start investing in yourself, reading, listening, practicing, growing, and as your skills improve, your value increases. And as your value increases, opportunities multiply. Your philosophy also affects how you handle adversity. Those who believe adversity is a signal to quit will stop. Those who believe adversity is part of growth will endure. Success tends to follow those who can endure without becoming bitter, who can struggle without giving up their belief in the process. Long before success shows up in your life, it shows up in your thinking. It shows up in how you talk to yourself. It shows up in how you explain failure. It shows up in how you choose responsibility over excuses. Change your philosophy, and you change the direction of your life. Not instantly, not dramatically, but permanently. And once that shift happens, your future is no longer a matter of chance, but a matter of choice. Let me ask you something, honestly. Not the kind of question you answer out loud, but the kind you answer in your heart. If nothing changed in your life for the next 5 years, except you would that be enough to completely transform your future? And the answer is yes. 1,000 times yes. Because the moment you change, everything around you starts responding differently. You might be thinking, I've tried before, and that's okay. Trying before doesn't disqualify you. Failing before doesn't disqualify you. Getting tired doesn't disqualify you. The only thing that disqualifies you is quitting on yourself. And you haven't quit because you're still here, still listening, still searching for something more. Listen closely. Success is not hiding from you. It's waiting for you to be ready, and readiness doesn't come from wishing. It comes from deciding. Deciding that you will no longer live on excuses. Deciding that your past will not be your prison. Deciding that discipline is no longer punishment, but self-respect. Talk to yourself for a moment. Say, from today onward, I take responsibility. Because responsibility is not heavy, it is powerful. The moment you accept responsibility, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your life. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do differently today? And don't underestimate today. Today is where everything begins, not next month, not next year, today. One better decision, one disciplined action, one moment where you choose growth over comfort. Comfort will keep you stuck. Growth will make you uncomfortable, but it will set you free. You may not feel confident yet, and that's fine. Confidence is built, not found. It's built every time you do what you said you would do. It's built when no one is watching. It's built when quitting would be easier, but you stay. That quiet strength, that inner trust, that's what attracts success. Tell yourself this, I don't need to be perfect. I need to be consistent. Perfection paralyzes people. Consistency transforms them. You don't have to change your whole life in one day. Just change today. Then do it again tomorrow. That's how momentum is born. There will be days you feel tired, days you feel behind, days you doubt yourself. And on those days, remember this discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. You won't always feel motivated, but you can always choose discipline. And discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. Look at your life honestly and say, what am I tolerating that I shouldn't? Because what you tolerate will continue. Raise your standards not for others, for yourself. Decide that average is no longer acceptable. Decide that excuses no longer sound convincing. Decide that your future deserves your best effort. Success will test you before it rewards you. It will ask, are you serious? And the way you answer is not with words, but with actions, with consistency, with patience, with growth. Success watches how you handle small things before it gives you big ones. Speak this into existence. I am becoming someone better. Not someday, now. Every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every habit you improve, you are building something powerful, even if no one sees it yet. Especially if no one sees it yet, one day people will call it luck. Let them, you'll know the truth. You'll know about the mornings you showed up tired, the nights you stayed focused, the temptations you resisted, the discipline you chose. Success remembers those moments even when the world doesn't. So don't chase success. Become someone success is drawn to. Work on your mindset, work on your habits, work on your skills. Work on your character, because when you do, success won't need to be forced. It will arrive naturally, and when doubt whispers, answer it firmly, I am not done. When fear speaks, reply boldly, I am growing. When the road feels long, remind yourself, I am building something that lasts. This is your moment to decide, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, deeply. Decide that from this point forward, you will work harder on yourself than anything else. Because when you do, success won't just come into your life. It will stay.